bike and run. In the Kona sun, we're gonna swim, bike and run. In the Kona sun, breakfast with Bob.
I think anybody who says it's easy has never done the last hour of an Ironman. It's about the most terrifying thing I've ever done. And I actually looked at it the other day on TV, and it's amazing how quickly you forget too. Like in that last hour, you could have handed me a private jet and a villa on the beach here, and I said, thank you guys, have it. Give it to someone else, you know? But then as soon as you finish and you get in the whole vibe, you're like, oh, this is so cool. For some reason, it's totally bizarre. And it's like you say, it's when you come from that sort of speed. It's amazing when you're running 29 minutes for 10 Ks, you're hurting a lot. But when you stop at the finish line, it's over, you know? Your lungs come back, and 3 minutes later you feel like, oh, I could have pushed that last K. There's no way you could have gone any faster, but a few minutes later you feel good again.
Yeah.
In that last hour of the marathon, you can run 5 minutes, you can run 3 minutes per K. Sorry, I'm still thinking in Ks.
Yeah, that's all right. That's good.
And it hurts just the same. It's whatever you do, it just hurts. It hurts. It really does, and it becomes a mind game. And there's so much more mental, capacity that you need to sort of push yourself to that last little bit to squeeze it all out. That makes the big difference. So that's what I found it to be really challenging and really exciting.
It's it's a mixture, you know, of because I wanted to stay so focused the whole race, also on the run. I mean, people were telling me after like, I don't know, 20 miles, you've got this thing, start to celebrate, start to smile. And I was like,
were you getting
running like a robot. But on the way back from the turnaround in the energy lab, there was not so much splits. I was screaming at my coach and that he should give me this damn splits, because I was so afraid to turn around and saw like this guy is running 100 meters behind me. And I'm not a Kona veteran, but I've seen so many people struggling at the end, and it looked, secured. You thought like, no way he's gonna lose this thing anymore, and then he lost it.
Right.
He lost it, and something I don't wanna make. I was really afraid till the end that something stupid might happen, and I was like crawling down Palani Road not to get any cramps or something. And then when you cross the finish line, only like 80 meters before, I start off, open my eyes and realize everything around me, and it's like a explosion of emotions.
September 8th, 2013, your first pro race, right? You win it.
Muskoka, yeah.
So that all of a sudden changes everything. Your third pro race, St. George, 18th, 10 minutes back, but there was something about that because you're racing against the best guys in the world at that point.
Yeah, well, I had won the Muskoka race, and I sort of thought, all right, I got what it takes to compete on the world scene,
Right.
And that may have been a bit premature, that thought, because then I went to St. George, and, Jan Frodeno, Sebastian Kienle, all the best guys are there, and I was a complete non-factor, lost time in every single discipline, and it was just a very, very humbling experience. But, I think the worst part of the experience was I was just so miserable afterwards. Like, I didn't want to be around anyone, didn't want to talk to anyone. I probably was short with my family and stuff. And I came to a few days later, my mom and I were out, running through the beautiful terrain in St. George, and I was like, is this what you become? Like, this is what triathlon has become for you? Like, I got into this to make myself a better person, and now triathlon is making me a worse person. And so it was from that point on I said, no more of this. I'm not doing it for external reasons. I'm not doing it to try and win the race or whatever. I'm just doing it to push myself to the best of my ability. And if I finish 18th, 10 minutes back, and that's the best I could do, then that's the best I could do, and I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to have a smile on my face and no problems. And it was when I made that change in my orientation that I actually started to excel a lot more.
And I was confident at the end that my unsightly form would work on the backside of Palani Hill on the downhill, and I really wanted to run quickly on that backside of the hill and carry it all the way down to Lee Drive, which is about 1.4 miles when you're at the top. I knew exactly, and I thought it's a long enough runway with a long descent, a hard pounding descent, that if I could make my move at that point, I could get away from Mark.
Yeah.
And that was really my tactic. And as the race unfolded and we were together, I had dropped back at an aid station, had come all the way up. This was between mile 23 and 24, and I'm looking at the backside of Palani Hill. And everyone who's run this course knows that, when you're riding your bike up that hill, it doesn't seem like anything, but at that point in the race, it becomes significant. Yes. And that little gradient, it goes up right away. And as I got next to Mark, I actually remember telling myself, just relax. At the top, you're going to take off. And I had about 5 seconds to tell myself to relax, and
he's gone.
Mark is doing something else, so you better respond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we had been together, and there were a lot of points out on the marathon where Dave was really pushing it, and I didn't know if I could hang on. And a lot of things happened for me personally out there, and finally. It became apparent that the move was going to take place on that hill, either going up or on the other side going down. And I had seen that as we were coming up to just the lesser upgrades, that it seemed like Dave was getting just a little bit weaker. On the downgrades, he was definitely stronger than me. And so I thought, okay, there's one last big up and one last big down. If I wait until the top of that hill, he's got it. He will have it. And so at the bottom of that hill, something just said go, and I took off. And I knew that it had to be more than a few feet, because from hour 6 till the end of that race, that's Dave's territory. Yeah. If you were even in the same zip code, he knew he had you. And so I just sprinted up the backside of the hills as best as I could, and then just prayed all the way down the other side that I didn't cramp or stumble or fall apart or whatever. And I got to the bottom and looked back, and I couldn't see him. And at that point, I just felt like, yeah, I think I have it.
So as you're coming down Elite Drive, and your first time here, breaking the Ironman run course record, 2:39:45, and firming up that you are one of the best in the world. What were you thinking as you came down that last stretch?
It is a crazy, crazy cocktail of emotions. I'm a really emotional person,
yes.
So I was so happy, and it was kind of a life dream coming true.
Yes,
and it just felt awesome, and just to
sometimes it doesn't feel real, huh?
Yeah, it felt unreal. Yeah, really, it felt unreal.